So with that, we can conclude our class for the strings. Okay. So there are other few methods that we are going to discuss as part of strings. So how do we exactly print the values in the given format? Okay. Oh, let's go ahead with the program. So here, count number of occurrences. Okay. So count number of occurrences of a particular character. Okay. So here what I'm going to do is like my problem statement is like, it's very simple. So if you are familiar with the yesterday's programs, then it is easy for us to just write this program. Okay. So here my problem statement is like, I have a Java. You can see Java program, Java language, and Java course. Okay. So I want to count like number of like, how many number of J's that we have here. And it's like, I want to replace that J with some numeric, okay, the number of occurrences. It should be like, one Ava, and this is like, so take everything and you just need to replace. Okay. You need to count and you need to replace that count with a number. Okay. So that particular character with a number. So this is my output. Okay. This is the output I should get. This is the output I should get. This is the input. When I give this input as like, when I give this input and I should get the output. Okay. So tell me, how do we exactly write this program? So yesterday we count the number of occurrences of that particular character, right? Now we are going to replace that character with a given number. Okay. So what can we do now? Can you tell me? Give some try for this. It's very simple. Okay. So int I is equals to 0, I is less than the given string is here dot length I plus plus. So here you are going to have the count to define 0 if whatever character we have, cr dot caret of I is equals to j or cr. It can be small case or uppercase. Okay. So what we do is like caret of I. Then what do you do here is like, you're going to replace that character. Okay. Str dot. So here what you are doing, if we get that, you're going to increment the count. Count is equals to count plus 1. Then what are you going to do is like string. What is that actual character that we have? Cr caret of I is equals to count. Okay, so let's try to write this program then. So here it is like double equals to small. Okay, so we'll write a program. So we'll take the problem statement. This is a problem statement that we have. Okay. Loop int equals to 0 is less than str dot length. Okay, so here count, I'm taking count int 0 if str dot character at I equals to j and str dot character is equals to of I equals to j. Then what I'm going to do here is like, I want to replace that particular character. Okay. Character of 5 is equals to count. But here, before that, what I have to do? I have to increment the count. Count is equals to count plus 1. Okay. But what is this? What is it doing now? It's a character. Then if you want to convert that into a string, then what I need to do is like, I need to just add it to a particular string. But here what we are getting here, this is kind of like a must have a variable, it says. Okay. So what I can do here in this case, can I use what it says? Now what is the value that we are getting here? So when I say character, so what it is returning? It is returning the character. Okay. So this is returning the character. But if you are trying to replace this character, what we have to do now? We can take into a character str.character I. So this character is getting like ch. Now ch is equals to what is that I want to what is that I want to do is like I want to put the count. Okay, but it is saying that it is kind of like a, so this is a character and this is an integer. So I need to convert this one into a character. So then what I'm going to do is like get numeric value of it. But what is that we can use now? So it's going to return the integer. We have like all set of the integers here. So what we can do is like we can directly if I say character of I, so that value, the count, whatever we have 1. So that will give the actual ASCII value of it. But I need to convert that one into a character. So if I want to convert it to a character, then what is that? What is that we can use?
Character.
Character. Will this work in this way? So if we are converted now the character, what we got the character here is like the character, whatever we have is like J. Okay, I want to replace that J with the count. Then what I can do here? You have any other options for this? Can we take the strings? Just recall those actually. Okay. So here see, I'm going to define another string here. So I'll take the output as like string present. Okay. I'm going to put this one. So rest is equals to what is that actually I want to put here? Rest plus. If I can take this one as like a ch is like it's a character I'm getting. Okay. So that character is I want to replace that character with the count. Okay. So the thing is like if I can just directly go and use this one. So and append the rest of the characters here. So will it work in this way? So if I have this j only should be replaced. Okay. So j, what is that value that I have here is like, so count is 0. So I get the 1 here. Okay. So whatever character I'm trying to add, it is like a kind of a character that we have here. But rest of the characters, I should keep on adding them. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is like, I'll just remove this one. Rest is equals to this character should be replaced. Okay. So whatever character we have here is like, it's going to replace. So for this reason, what I'm going to do is like, I'll just assign that value. Whatever value is that, I'm going to assign that value. Let me just put it. So here, what is that I'm going to get? I'm going to get the j as the value. So rest plus, and if I take this ch, so what is that I'm going to get here? So first, let's go and try to print it. Okay. So first, as part of the character, I'm going to print it. Okay. So otherwise, I'll directly write the code here. So we got the rest, and rest of the character should also be appended, right? So for this reason, what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to append rest equal to rest plus. I'm going to get as like character. The other character also I need to append. Okay. So let's go and see what is that we are going to get as like a result. It did not get anything. Rest is like it did not change anything. So what is that we need to do now? So let's I'll show you one thing. Okay, I'll try to do some debugging. Okay, so I'll just include these things sequentially. Then you can easily understand how I'm going to do. Okay, so let's see that how do we debug is like, so whenever you have any problem here, okay, so whenever we have any problem, so what we do is like, we can use which line you are facing the problem. Let us take, I want to find out something here. What is that count that I'm getting, or what is that character that it is putting inside this variable? So you need to just double click on it. Otherwise we have an option here. So in the navigation, in the run, we have an option here, toggle breakpoint. Okay, toggle breakpoint. When I say toggle breakpoint, so it's going to provide this toggle breakpoint. So how do we debug now? So right click on this. You have an option called debug as. Okay, debug as Java application. So once you click on this debug as Java application, it will open you the it will open the program in the debug mode. Okay, so here the character itself is like whatever we are getting, it's not able to, like, you know, it's not getting into this particular loop. Okay, so I'm going to put one other debug here. Okay, debug point. So that's like a breakpoint. Okay, so I'm putting breakpoint here. Right click on this and debug the application. So now it will show you this wizard. Okay, so this is nothing but this is a pop-up which you see, confirm perspective switch. So I'm switching on this. Now when I switch this, you can see it will open this application in debug mode. Okay, now how do we find the variables and what are the breakpoints? The breakpoints is like, these are the breakpoints I put, and I did not put any variables here. I'll just delete every variable. Okay, so I'll just delete it and I'm going to remove them. Delete them. Okay, so now what is that I'm trying to do here is like, I got the breakpoint here. Okay, so let me just close this application again. I'm going to just start it again. Okay, I'll save it. Right click, debug. Okay, automatically it is taking this and it's trying to find out what is this variables and all. So you can add the variables also. Okay, so if you want to add the variables, you can add the variables. So here you can just type it, otherwise right click, and you can see that there is another two options that are available. Watch, when you say watch, so it's going to add the expressions here. Okay, so variables is like whatever variables that we have here, that will be shown here. Okay, so expressions, you want to find out which expression that is that you want to get it. Okay, so here I don't have any expressions. I just want to see what are the variables I'm going to get as part of execution. Okay, so we have two ways we can do. Okay, so one is like, it will show you like what is the breakpoint. Here we have expressions and here we have a variables. Okay, so to understand this, so how do we exactly identify, or how do we exactly find the root cause, like what is the problem within the program? Okay, so we can just use this mechanism. Okay, debug. Okay, now you see, how do I get the value of this particular character? See, I'm going to highlight this. Okay, so select this particular character when this line comes. Okay, so when you see this line, which is like, you know, light green color. Okay, so it is like highlighting this, it is stopping them. Okay, so here you can see there is some value in it. Okay, so let me just inspect that. How do I do it? It's like I got the J. Okay, this condition is true. Okay, so we have AND condition. See what I missed, what the mistake I did. It's like AND condition. Okay, so one is true, another one is false, another one is false. So that is the reason why it is not getting into this. Okay, so now I'm going to put the OR condition. Okay, so now you check. To move to the next line, we have F6. Okay, F6 is like, here you can see. Okay, step into, step over. When you say step into, what it does is like, it will get into that particular, see, for example, character is the method, right? So it will get into that method. Okay, so F in step into, in the sense, it will step into that particular method. Step over is like, it will just go to the next line. Okay, so now you see what is happening here. I'm just putting the AND condition, but still it is like, it has run, it has already taken that condition. So that is the reason why it is not accepting this. Okay, so I'm going to stop it again. I'll try to rerun this program again. Okay, so we are going to have the separate sessions for debugging, but I want you to learn it from the beginning, because logically, when we are trying logically, and if this is not working, then what we do is like, we go with the debugging. Okay, so debugging is like another important interview questions. They are going to ask you, how do you exactly resolve the issues when you find it in the scripts. So what is the debug? What is how do you step into, how do you step over, and how do you create the variables, expressions, or else how do you watch that? How do you inspect it? Okay. So these are the some interview questions. Okay. So now what I'm trying to do is like I put the breakpoint and I'm going to that particular. So how do I run this? So right click, and you have like when you stop this, right click on it, put the breakpoints, right click on this particular program, and here you can see debug as application. Okay, so when you say debug as application, so it will come to the breakpoint, it will stop. Now you can find out what is that exactly the value of this particular string. Okay, so you can see we have right click on this again. You can go and click on inspect. You'll find out what is the value of it. Okay, so this is matching. Okay, so this is matching. When I say F6, now you see it is counting that. I'm getting the character. What is the character? I have J. This is equals to what is the value that I have? J. So what is the result here? See. So it is result is it is showing as like J. So what is the value of CH now? We did not assign this value, but what is that I'm getting here? Here I'm getting the J, right? So because I have taken the character, but I did not replace that character. So how do I replace this character now? So I've taken this value and then CH is equals to count. But can I add this character, whatever character that I have as like, this is the variable that I'm taking, right? Can I add this to the character? So count is integer and CH is like a character. So what I have to do now? Whether I can just make it as like a string, otherwise I can add it as like a. So this is nothing but what is this? This is nothing but. So to make it string, so simply I'm going to take string. What is that char? String. Occurrence, I'll say occurs. So here simply I'm going to make it as like a string. So we have what is that count that we have here? Let's see what is that occur that's exactly I'm going to get. Okay. So for this reason, what I'm going to do is like I'll just restart this program. So here I have some issues here. I'm going to just check what is that and all. So because we have occur here, right? So I'm going to add this one. Now I'm going to restart it. So just like again, when I make some changes, it will ask you to restart. Okay. So this is nothing but the debug. Okay. So we'll see now what exactly happens. So we got the count is equals to 1 and occur is equals to the J that I got. So here result, I don't have anything, but occur is like J. Okay. So now you see it is adding the same thing here again. So I'm going to remove this. So it's not added that count here. Okay. So we did not assign that value. So that is the reason why it is showing that. Okay. Second, guys, I just inserted. Sorry for that. It's like, here we can say smart insert and override. Okay. So override, to remove this override, I'm just clicking on the smart insert. Okay. So now I got like occur is like, I got the value, whatever is like, it is there. So, but I need to replace that value. Okay. So not that I need to replace this value. So what I'm going to do is like, I can use occur dot replace. So whatever character I'm going to get. So what is that character that I want to replace now? So here we have like, this is kind of a string that I have, and whatever character that I'm going to get, I'm going to replace with that. Okay. So if I say count, it's only single string that we have. So here, so what it is doing is like replace first, change first. So it is not also working. Then simply I can do one thing, occur is equals to this count. Okay, so now it is moved into this particular count. Whatever we have defined is like, occur will become this is a string, and string, if you are adding something to a string, what happens? It will become the string. Now this is like the character that have, and this character is like given to this occur, and occur is equals to plus count. So what is happening here in this case is like, again, we can go and check the debug. So here, press plus character of string. So let me restart it and see what is this exactly that we are trying to do. What is the value of this j? So now what is the value here? Count 1. So what? I need to add it to the rest. Okay. That's equals to plus occurrence. Now we got the 1. But we have to ignore it, right? So we are in the for loop. Okay. So what it is doing is like, again, it is taking the character at this particular value. So what I'm going to do is like, I need to add rest of the values. Okay. If I don't take rest of the values, what happens is like, it will keep on adding this value. Now you can see the rest is like, it will say 1 is replaced. Okay. 1 is replaced with j. But what is happening in this case? Still it is taking this character value. Okay. So what I'm going to do is like, I'll try to take the next character at a time, and then I'll try to add it. Okay, I'll explain the logic, what I'm trying to do. So this is like custom logic. Still we have like, we can use replace first and all. So this will help you to just replace the values. Okay. Other, if it is not working, then we can go with the next approaches also. See what is happening now? Can you see? Okay. So there is another issue here. We have like, so it is doing some, again, it is like, it's not incrementing the count here. It's going here and it is finding this Java. So what it is doing is like, again, it is placing 1 here after the Java. Okay. So let me do one thing, guys. I'll try to create this as like I'll just stop it. I'll use another approach for this. Okay. So we can still go ahead and see what I'm trying to do is like, I'll take the character here. I'm going to just find out whether that is J or J. Okay. So if that is a character, I want to just to take that count. Okay. Whatever the count that here we have is like count is equal to count plus 1. So here, what I'm doing is like, this is the first time I'm getting this occurrence. Okay. So now I have to replace this particular J with the character J with the character I. That's nothing but the count. Okay. The count is like 1 now. Okay. So I got the J and I'm just taking that count. Again, I'm going to replace that count with the J with the count. Okay. So whatever I got this count. So to convert this particular, so we have two approaches. Okay. So yesterday we looked into one other approach is like, how do we convert this particular into a string? Otherwise, the other thing is like, we can go ahead and use the other function that is nothing but string dot value of. Okay, string dot value of. So if you want to convert something from the integer or any other thing, then what we can do is like, we can use string dot value of. What is that value that I want to convert is like count. Now I got this count. Okay, that's nothing but this count is converted into the string. Okay, so now I'm going to take string value is equals to, I got this count. So what I have to do now? I need to replace that value, right? I need to replace that particular value. So what is the string that I have here? Is like, I have this. Okay. So let me just go and try to replace the values of this particular J, the occurrence here. So here I'm taking another one into the str replace old character. What is that old character? Str dot character at I, and the new character is like value. Okay. Replace first. If I say replace all, it will replace. It will not. It should replace this value. the old character, this is the old character I'm getting, and the new character is like I'm getting the value of this. Okay. So let me just, so here it should replace the values. Replace the old character and got it. This value is like still replace char is equals to, I need to convert into the string actually. Okay. So character of I. So whenever I find this, so first what I'm doing is like, guys, I'm going to increment the value. Okay. So I'm going to increment this value. So after incrementing this value, I'm just converting that value. Okay. So because this value is an integer, so I'm converting into the value. After that, I'm using like replacing the character. So which value I want to replace? So J is the value that I'm taking, right? So I want to replace this character. So this character, to convert this character into the string, we have two things. Okay. One is like string dot value of, and you can see there is a character. Okay. So what is that character that I want to convert is like string dot character of I. Okay. So now I got this replacement character. So what I'm going to get here is like I'm going to get the plus. So let's go and try to debug it again and see what is the value that I'm going to get as part of this. So if this character is like, if it is J, then it will do all this stuff. Okay. So if it is J, then it will try to get it. The value is like 1. Replacement value J. Okay. So here we get, see, all of them are like, we are able to see all of them are getting as like 1. But what is that? What is that requirement actually? What is the output that I should get here? So I should get like 1, 2, 3, 4 likewise. Okay. So here, if I am saying that replace, it's going to replace all of them. So for this reason, what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to use replace first. Okay. So replace first. So let's go and try to do this. Okay. So here, so what is that? What I'm going to get? See, first one is replaced. Okay. First one is replaced. But when I try to get again, what is that? Rest is equals to rest plus 1. So again, see, it's already replaced. Okay. So it is already replaced. Now it's going to take the next character at a time. Then after, it will keep on trying to find out that character. Okay. But this is like, now you can see, this is like it's replaced. It's not replacing at the second character. Okay. So it's writing something, printing and printing some characters at the end actually. Can you see this? So this is like, it is again retrying to print this values. Okay. So we need to stop. Now off of the solution is like, we got the off the solution, but the rest of the thing is like, now it is trying to replace the first character at a time. Okay. First character at a time. So after getting this, what I need to do is like, I need to just remove this and I try to take the next string. Okay. So for this, we have another approach. That's like, we can split it and we can take it. Okay. So we can split and we can convert this one as like a, character array, string array. Then from that string array, we'll be taking the one character at a time and we'll keep on like count will be like similar. We should not make it as like a 1 here. So I'll take this one as like here. Switch. Place the string. So first one is like replaced and second one, it did not do anything. It is replacing the same character again because it is finding that character. Okay. So here we got the solution. Only thing is like we need to take this, like, we need to split this particular string as like a string array. Okay. And string array, then you can take this one as like a character and you can replace that particular character at a time. Okay. So for this, what I'm going to do is like, I'll just try to take a string here. There is another for loop for that. Okay. So here, so this is little complex in this way, but still we have another way that I'll show you, like how do we exactly do with the help of methods. Actually, string is already available. So I'm going to take str1 split, str1 dot split, and take this one. So I got the string str1. So whole operation will be performed within this. Okay. So here we have this value, and here I'm going to take this string here. Now I'll change it. Okay. So string, character. So once I get it, I'm going to append that value. Okay. So append this value. That's nothing but I'm going to replace that particular string. So if I'm not finding it that, I'll take the next string and again I'm going to do this. Okay. So it will keep on appending this value. So here I'm going to do as like, I got this particular rest value. So after this for loop, what I'm going to do is like, here is the for loop. Okay. So after this for loop, I'm going to add it as like a rest is equal to rest plus. So whatever I'm going to get as like a string. Otherwise, I can show you here itself. So directly, once we find the solution, then after we can see what it is printing here. Okay. After this for loop, here itself, we can print and we can see what is that value that we are getting. Okay. Now some issue here. Okay. You are missing one bracket here. Yes. We rerun this program. It's taking up the object. Guys, I'll do one thing. I'll just come back to on this. Like I'll take the good approaches. Like I'll show you two approaches for this. One is like the complex approach I am trying, but it is not working out. I'll just try to take the another approach, which is like easiest approach, and I'll come back to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, can we use string new string is equal to string dot replace of, sir?
Yeah, we can see replace all. If you do the replace all, what it does is like it will replace every character. Okay. So whatever we give like Java, it will be replaced with one. So replace first is like it will take one character, whichever it like, wherever it is finding the J as like the first character, right? So there it will replace. So that is the reason why we are getting this approach. We are, we are getting the output from this approach, but it is becoming much tedious now. Because when I try to use this all conversions of these characters and all, this is not required generally. Okay. So we can directly go and try to get this character and we, count that character as like first occurrence and we'll just increment the count and we'll just replace that character. We go to the next character and we try to find out that and we again, we'll be replacing that character and we are putting that value as like 2. Okay. So here I'll just come up with the other approach, guys. So wherein it will be easy for you to understand. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sorry for this, guys. Let's try it. It will take some time, but this is the interview question, guys, that generally this interview questions will be asked in Amazon and Facebook. So this is very important and you can just, work on this. Okay. I'll tell you how do we do it. Okay. So don't worry about this. Before completing itself, I'll just try to completing the class itself. We'll try to find out. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead with the other topics that we have is like string buffer. Another one is like string builder. Okay. So string buffer and string builder. So we talked about like string is immutable. Okay. String is immutable. So string immutable in the sense we cannot change the value of the string. Okay. That's nothing, but it will remain constant. Okay. If you want to change some value or else if you want to append something. Okay. So you want to add something to that. In that case, what we do is like we are going to use the string buffer and string builder. Okay. String buffer and the string builder. Guys, just give me a second. 1 second. Yeah, guys, I'm back. So string buffer and string builder, both of them are classes. Okay. So class in Java. So here also we can see this is also a class. Everything like whatever we are discussing about like strings is like everything is a class. Okay. So we'll directly go to the documentation and try to understand what are the difference between the string builder and string buffer. Both of them have like all the methods are similar. Only thing is like string buffer is like synchronized and this is like non-synchronized. We'll see why do we call them as like synchronized, non-synchronized. So first I'll go to the documentation. I'll show you what is the difference between these two of them. Okay. So string buffer. Okay, so here you can see a thread safe mutable sequence of characters. Okay, here you can see the word it says like I'll just maximize it. Okay, zoom it. Okay, so here you can see the thread safe and mutable sequence of character. A string buffer is like a string but can be modified. Okay, so this is the important thing, guys. Okay, so it says like it is mutable and it's thread safe and it can be modified. Okay, so it's like a string but it can be modified. So what are the methods which are available as part of string buffers and what we can achieve, which we cannot achieve directly through the strings, that we can do it with the help of like a string buffer. So here also you can see there are a lot of methods here. Okay, append is a method. It's going to change the original string. Okay, so then we have like, all the characters, characteristics, whatever we are using as part of strings that we have. Along with that, we have some new things. Okay, insert, append, and then we have like some reverse methods, replace, reverse. Okay, so now you see directly we can achieve with the help of like a string buffer. Okay, we'll see the program. So which can reverse the string without using the logic. Okay, so directly when you say reverse, then it will reverse it. Okay, so apart from that, we have string, sequence, string, substring, subsequences and sequences of the string. So all these things can be looked into it. Okay, so let's look into that string buffer and then we'll discuss about what is the difference between string buffer and string builder. So here I'm going to create a class string buffer class. Okay, so here I'm going to use main method. So in this, we can see string buffer. So I'm just giving yes buff. So what we need to do is like we have to create object for this. Okay, we'll discuss about what is object, but for now you need to remember that string buffers, and this is a reference variable, and new is the keyword where it's going to create the object. Object in the sense some space in the heap. Okay, so we'll get some space in the heap so that the class, whatever actions we are performing in that class, that can be accessed through the object. It's kind of like a space will be given to that particular object in the heap. So from there, what exactly happens is like whenever we are performing some actions, right, those actions will be stored there. I mean, like it will be like a space wherein some person can go and access that with the help of like a object. Object is like a location. Okay, so location is heap memory. We have two types of memories, guys. Okay, heap memory and stack. We have a lot of memories, like native methods will be stored, and we have a heap memory and we have a stack memory. Okay, so don't worry about like stack and all. So, but the heap memory, you have to remember some space will be allocated for the objects. Okay, so here you see, I'm going to use some string here. Test string buffer. Okay, test string buffer. So here I'm going to use this now. See how easy it is. Like append some value. Okay, so now you see test buff. When I say this, you'll get this text is appended. Okay, so let me create another string buffer with empty. Okay, so here this is empty. I'm going to remove this. Now I appended something here, right? So in strings, if I append something, if I add concatenate something, so what happens? Original string will remain same. But here you see what I'm going to do is like yes buff equals to yes buff 1. Okay, so now I appended this. So when I print yes buff and yes buff 1, so in strings, what happens now? In strings, if I print yes buff like yes buff 1, okay, so let me just assign this value. Okay, now you see. So what I'm doing here, I've created a string and I'm just creating empty string here and assigning this value to this yes buff 1. So what is the original value that I have here for the yes buff 1? So this is the value that I have inside this yes buff 1. So when I make some changes to this yes buff form, when I print it, so what I get in general, what I get in case of string. So here I'm going to get a new string. That is nothing but the string will be existing. The string will be changed here. Okay, but yes buff 1 remains the same, right? So it remains the same. In case of strings, I'm talking about like in case of strings. What happens in case of string buffer is like, now I'll execute and see what is the result of it. So what is happening now? Both of them changed. Okay, the original value, whatever I'm putting here, let me just create the same thing in case of strings. Okay, I'm putting string. So this is what I'm putting. I'll put str here. I'll create another string str1. Okay, look at the difference, guys. Okay, so I'm putting empty here. So this will become str1 and this will become str. So here str concatenate text, and here I'm going to print str and here str. Let us take like this is first I'm going to print str, then str. Okay, so let me comment this, guys. I'm just commenting this code. I'll execute this. Did I add anything here? Okay, I need to put this complete string here. So what is the operation that I made here? So I changed it, right? So let me just do one thing. Otherwise, I'll write it in this way. str is equals to str dot concatenate. Okay. I'm changing its value. So here it should be str. See what is happening now? See original string here after making the making some changes, it's changed. But what is happening here? str is equal to str. str1 is equal to str. So it did not change its value, right? str, the string value did not change. So after making some changes to this str, but here in this case, in the string buffer, observe carefully. String buffer, what is happening here in this case? I'll just differentiate these things. So of like it's string buffer. It's string. Okay. Let's try to differentiate these cases. Have you seen? So this is a string buffer. So what I did the same actions here. Okay. I created the string buffer 1 and I created the string buffer and I created the string buffer 1 and assigning some value to the string buffer 1. Okay. So after that, I'm appending some value to the original string. Okay. Original string buffer. So after that, I'm trying to print both of the values. So now when I execute this, I see that both of them have changed here. But here in the strings, the string value, what is that? str1, it did not change because of this. This is changed already. Okay, here I have changed it. Okay, but its value, the original value, whatever we have, which is assigned to this str1, did not change. Okay, it remained immutable. But here it's like mutable. That's nothing but it is changing its value. Whenever we are changing this value also will be changed. But here in this case, if you are changing this value will not change. So that is the difference between string buffer and strings. Now you see, it is string buffer, changing both the values. But here in case of strings, it's not changing its original value. Whatever you are trying to add to it, to add to the existing string, it will keep on adding this string and it will not change its original value. Okay. So here, this is why we call it as like a strings are immutable and string will have like string constant pool. Okay. So here, whatever we are creating as a literals, that still it will be pointing to this, like str1 will be pointing to this value. Okay. But here in this case, it will create two different objects and two different objects will be pointing to the different location. So that is the reason why whenever we are making any changes to the string buffer, it will keep on changing its value. But here in case of strings, it will not change. Okay. It is similar in case of string builder also. Only the difference is like string buffer is synchronized and string builder is non-synchronized. Non-synchronized in the sense it is little faster. Its performance is faster. But when we are talking about like synchronizations, so whenever we are trying to execute with multi-thread concepts, in that case, we have a problem here. The problem in the sense, so it would, in case of string buffer, it will go sequentially, one after the other. But in case of string builder, if we are using this multi-thread concept, so what it does is like, it's going to execute on a one process at a time. Okay, so here I'm going to use it as like string builder. Yes, let's build one. Build, I'm adding something to it, and here also I'm making changes. Okay, let me execute this whole thing. Just going to add. So string buffer, it's going to change its value. String, here you can see string. It's a string. Then what is happening now? It's not changing its original value. String builder, it is similar. Okay. String buffer and string builder have the same methods and same functions. Okay. We'll see different methods and how do we use those methods as part of string builder and string buffer. Okay. So let me just Yeah, this I will put it as like difference between string builder and okay. Let me just add one thing here. String versus string buffer versus string builder. I'm just changing the class name. Okay. Now we'll explicitly see string buffer class. Okay. Here, main, going to create a string buffer. Yes, buff, I'll say equals to new string buffer. And here I'm going to add some test. Okay. So test. And I'll use the methods here. Yes, buff dot append test one dot append dot test two dot append. So I can keep on appending the values. Okay, so wherein this is not possible in case of strings. Let me just go and execute this. So I'm giving some spaces here. Give a space for every string. Yes, perfect. Got this right. So this is the method one we use. Another one is like you have all the C append methods. Okay. So when you say append, you can see all these methods. So next is like if you want to delete the start and end index. Okay. So you can give the start is like 0 and select 4. And if you say as buff, it's going to delete the indexes from that particular location in the string. See, now it has deleted this test 0 to 4 or deleted. Okay. So this is another method. Another one is like string buff dot. There's a method insert. Okay, insert 0 to buff. Let me add 0, 1, 2, 3, something. So just to differentiate, okay. So what is happening? It is adding, inserting, okay. So you need to give the index and it will insert. So delete is like from which to which index you want to delete, it will delete. Insert is like it will insert. Append is like it will keep on appending. And the famous thing is like generally we use this for reversing, okay. So reverse the string. So it will directly reverse and it will give the output. Now you see there is no logic for this. So just use this predefined function. So it will reverse the string. See, this is coding here, and this is reversing this particular thing, and this is like it is reversing everything and it is giving. Okay, so only the function is like that we use string builder, string buffer dot reverse. Okay, in even string builder also we have the same thing. And next is like we have string buffer dot replace. Okay, replace start character and end index. Okay, for example 4, and what is the string that you want to replace? Okay, for example we use test. It's already done. So I'll do one thing, I'll reverse it again, and after that I'll do the replace. Here I'm going to give the value of sbuff. See what it replaced? It replaced the test actually. Okay, you can see this is like another test it has added. Let me just do one thing from 0 to 7 character. Okay, so 0 to 7th index. I want to replace with test 7. Okay, now you see it is replacing. earlier it was like test 1 to 3, now it is like test 7 3. Okay, so whatever character that we have given is like it is trying to replace that. Before that, how many characters we have? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so 6 we have a space also. Okay, 7 characters. From it will start. From this index it will start 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so it replaced with test 7, and the value that we have last is like 3. Okay, so it is replacing this. And next we see some other methods also. Yes, buff, but append is like we have that append and we can see that. Okay, here also we can see character, so which we have already looked into the strings. Then we have delete also, and getting characters from which index to which index and where you want to store from here to 4. Okay, so here you can say character of. So what is that we can do is like, just let me use it again. Not get characters. So here you can see character destination and destination beginning, from where you want to store. This is like from which location, which index to which index you want to pick, and what is that character character array that you want to store, and destination begins from where you want to begin. Okay, here it is giving us like, okay, it's not accepting here. What I'm going to do is like I will take this and I'll create is equals to, otherwise I'll just create this array. So here I'm going to specify from here to here. I'll start the index from this location. Okay, so when I say let's buff, I'll still have this. So what is this? It is doing is like null pointer exception, destination is null. Okay, so you can just give the index of it. For example, you can give as like new char of, give some 10. Okay, so let's go and try to print it. So it's printing this string buffer. Okay, but you have to print the values from the character array. So how do you print it now? Buffer and you char see, and you want to just see how many values that we have stored as part of like character array. Okay, so can you see it will print the characters. Okay, so these are like empty values, don't worry about this. Now you can see this is like test, right? So we try to store the values. Let us take, I am taking 1 to 9. Test, and it's printing some values. Okay, here we have spaces, so that is the reason why it is showing as spaces. But what is that I have defined here is like get characters. It will get the character from the index 0 to 9 in the buffer, and it will be storing into the character array. And the character array will start storing the values from 0. Okay, 0 to 9, whatever values that we are specifying, it will start from 0 to, and here we have like 0 to, this is like 10 length of the character. I've given 10. Okay, character array. So I'm trying to store this from 0. Okay, so this is like get character, and we'll see other functions which are available as buff dot. See, append the character also. We have the appender character set also. Here we can directly give the characters here. Okay, it will get appended. So then we have delete. We have looked into append, insert, delete, reverse, replacing, getting characters. I'm just discussing about the methods which are not there as part of like strings. Okay, strings we can use, like you can see that is empty, last index of everything is available in the string. Int, length, and then we have like replace characters, everything is available. Okay, so here you can see substring also there. And trim to this size, trim to size is like if you want to easy attempt to reduce the storage used for the character sequence, it's buffer larger than the necessary. Okay, so generally we don't use this one because trim to size will trim the particular, like if you have given some size as like from 20 or 30, so if you ask it to trim to that particular size, it will trim it. Rest of the data will be gone. So still, yeah, so these are the main methods. Okay, so generally what are the methods that we use as part of string buffer and string builder is like append, insert, delete, reversing the string, and if you want to get the characters, you can use the get character. So this is also available in strings also. Okay? So let me just find strings. str is equals to, I'm going to take test. Okay, something. This is a string that we have, and we can see str dot get characters. Here also we have this. Okay, but in case of bytes, it is like in case of bytes. Here it is like in case of character. We have this in character also. Yeah, bytes and characters. Okay, if you want to get the bytes, it will retrieve the bytes. If you want to get the characters, you can retrieve the characters. So same thing we have to apply. Okay? So, but what are the main things that we have as part of string buffer is like string buffer and string builder is like append, delete, insert, and reverse. Okay, so we can take the same program. I'll just remove this. I'm going to copy paste it here. I'm just dragging and dropping the class builder class. I'm creating the builder class. Now go here. We are going to use string builder. Everything is same. When you see this, everything is same. I just use this string. I'm just want to replace this. What I can do is like replace. Oh, sorry. Otherwise, I'll say as build. Okay, all of them got changed. Now you see, everything is similar to the string buffer and string builder, right? The string buffer, string builder. There is no different. No, there is no huge difference in between them. Only the thing is like string buffer is synchronized and string builder is non-synchronized. And we'll see what is the difference between these two with one of the major program. Okay, to try to understand string buffer versus string builder. Okay, now you see the main difference here. Here I'm going to create string buffer. Okay, this buff is equals to new string buffer. Okay, so this is one thing. So now what I'm going to do is like I'll try to append something. Okay, so append something to the string buffer. So that append will be done in the for loop. Okay, so I'm taking some for loop. Long is equals to long I is equals to 0. I is less than some value. Okay, so long L plus plus. So here I'm performing some action string append 100. I'm appending to itself. Okay, so I'll be appending this particular things to itself. So it will append something here. I'll put it as like some 100 here. Now I want to measure the time. Okay, so I'm taking start time is the long variable. This all I have to find out the time it has taken to complete the particular iterations. Okay, so this many number of iterations have to complete. And here, this is like a method which is available system.current time milliseconds. What it is like, it's going to count the milliseconds, return the current time in milliseconds. So how much time it has taken to complete this for loop. Okay, so start time I'm calculating this one, and end time is like again I'm going to take another variable called end time. So here I'm going to measure after the iterations are completed. Okay, so these two lines, this first line it will count the this is like kind of a 0. Let us take this is kind of 0. But here after completing this for loop, it will get some it will return some milliseconds, right? So here we are going to subtract these values. Okay, end time minus start time. So whatever the time that it has taken to complete the iterations, it will be shown here. Okay, so just we want to find out the difference between these two. Okay, because one is synchronized and another is like non-synchronized, right? Synchronized is like it will create the threads and it will try to follow the process. Nothing but it will go and execute the program in a sequential order. But string builder is like it will directly go and create as a process, and it will try to use the CPU type. Okay, so directly it will use the CPU type. Here it will create it as like a thread, lightweight processes, but here it's like a complete process. Okay, so now we'll try to take the current time of it. Okay, we'll try to repeat the same thing. So here I'm going to write system out. System out end time minus start time. Okay, time taken to complete the iterations. So I'll take the same thing here, but this time it is string builder. Let's build. I'll remove this long because we have already used it, right? So here I'm going to take it as like start time. String builder as a string builder. And here is also, here I'll write time taken to complete iterations. Okay, just to put it in brackets so that we can get the string builder string buffer. Okay, so let's go and execute this program and see. See, now you got it right? String buffer and string builder. Okay, so what is that we talked about? So how exactly this works now? See, you got the difference, right? Both the operations, same similar set of operations that we are trying to do. Okay, but what is happening here in this case? Do you see the difference, guys? String buffer is like it is taking 1699 and string builder is taking 1905 seconds. Okay, so let me try to execute it again. So you can see the differences here. Okay, see, this is taking less time and this is taking more time. So sometimes again we go and execute it. See, this is taking more time and this is taking less time. Okay, but both of the operations are similar operations, right? One is like string buffer, another string builder. Everything is similar. Logic is everything is similar. Okay, we are trying to find out the start time, end time, and both of them are like, we have start time here, we have end time here. We have start time here, we have end time here. So the difference why it is making is like one is synchronized, another one is not synchronized. Okay, so which may execute like, one is faster and one is like it will follow the process. So it is taking more time. Sometimes it is taking more time. Sometimes it's like if it's all depends on your CPU time. Okay. See, now it is taking less time. String builder is taking less time. String buffer is taking more time. Okay. So this is the only difference, guys. If somebody asks you like what is the difference between string buffer and string builder, you can say string buffer is synchronized, string builder is non-synchronized. If they ask you to give the example, you can give this example. Okay, it's a very simple example. Take variable start time and end time. Start time you have to define before the iterations, and end time you have to define after the iterations. So what are the situations? Long I is equals to 0, I is less than some value. Okay, so these are you have to give the huge value because you cannot find the difference. Okay, so when you increase this, so it will take some time to complete these iterations, right? So in that case, what it does is like it's going to measure the start time and end time. So the difference is like you can say end time minus start time, you'll see the difference here. Okay, so the difference is like here it is taking less time, here it is taking more time. Okay, so it simply say that milliseconds. It's taking some milliseconds. So this milliseconds will show you the difference. What is the difference between string buffer and string builder? Okay, are you clear with this, guys? So do you want me to explain it again?
Yes, clear, Shrikant.
Okay. So only the difference between string builder and string buffer is like string buffer is synchronized and string builder is non-synchronized. Okay. So it may take more time in case of string buffer to execute the program when you compare to the string builder, because this is synchronized and this is not synchronized. Synchronized in the sense it will be like, we even if we talk about like threads. Okay. So what happens is like, I'll show you in terms of task manager. So here we have a task manager. Okay. What you see is like CPU usage, right? CPU, memory, disk, network, and everything. So when you look into this, you'll see a lot of other things also. Okay. I can see what is happening. It is like creating a threads. This is kind of like a thread. Okay. So it's creating a thread and each thread has got something. See, its time usage and the memory allocation is like less. Now, when you see this is like, no, see how this CPU time is like getting added. Total process utilization across all cores. Okay. So here physical memory in use by active processors. And here it's like disk space utilization of physical drivers. So what exactly happens is like when we are trying to run the program, let us take this is a string builder and this is a string buffer. Okay. So Google Chrome is like a string buffer and this is like a string builder. So we have like in case of string builder, what happens? It will be taken as like only one thread. Okay. One thread in the sense one process. So but in case of string buffer, it's going to divide them as like a threads. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. So it will sequentially execute these threads and based on the availability of the CPU. Okay. But in case of string here, this is like string builder. It will directly take one process at a time. Okay. So completing all process at a time is called a string builder and completing them in the piece of threads is called a string buffer. Okay. That is the only difference between these two. Everything is like same. Only the difference is like we have this is string synchronized, this is non-synchronized. Okay. Sorry guys, today I just need to work on this actually. So I'll let you know how do we exactly count the occurrences, count the number of occurrences of the character. Okay. I'll come up with two approaches for this guys. So here I'm taking some like approach which is not feasible. Okay. Generally it will take time because again we are doing some conversions and converting that particular value into the string and appending the string and trying to find out that. Okay. So splitting and all this is all not required actually. So we have some regular expressions also. So whenever we find this, so I'll discuss these things in regular expressions also. Whenever we find this particular character, so we use the regular expressions and we can replace them. Okay. So that replacement will be easy for us. So that is like we have some predefined functions over. Okay. Okay, guys. Thanks for your time. Do you have any questions for me, guys? Are you clear with this?
Yes, Shrikant. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to upload this program also. I'll just complete this and I'll upload. And again, I'm going to explain about this program tomorrow. On Monday. Okay. So we'll be starting on Monday. We'll be starting with the OOPS concepts. Don't miss out the classes, guys. After that, we have access modifiers. In between, I'm going to discuss access modifiers and then I'll discuss about what is class, what is object, what are the methods and how do we create the methods, what is constructor, what is inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, interfaces, and then we have like a lot of things are lined up, guys. Okay. So I'll give each and everything will be discussed as part of Project. Okay. Thanks for your time, guys. Let's meet on Monday. I'll upload this program for your practice today itself. Okay. So in an hour, you'll get this program done.
Yeah, okay, Shrikant. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.